Night has a way of telling the truth. When the noise fades and the house finally exhales, you can hear the quiet arithmetic of your life. Card statements in a stack on the counter, a subscription you barely remember, that delicate balance between what comes in and what slips away. In that stillness, a question rises like breath on cold glass. If wisdom, not income, were the measure of your future, what would change first? Not your job title, not your car, not even your zip code, but the way you decide, the way you wait, the way you keep. Tonight, we will slow the pulse of urgency and listen for the kind of understanding that holds. I see you, tired of pushing harder while feeling less secure, carrying private worry in a world that only claps for public wins. You have done your best with what you were taught, with what you inherited, with what you survived. The point here is not blame. The point here is breath. You are not broken. You are early. What looks like failure is often just a pattern that hasn't been named yet. When we name it, we can tame it. When we tame it, we can redirect it. Not through force or shame, but through patient, intelligent care. There is a reason the same choices repeat themselves, even after a sincere resolution to do better. Your nervous system sits closer to your wallet than you think. Scarcity makes the amygdala flare. Fear tightens the jaw and narrows the field of vision until only the loudest solution seems real. Dopamine loves the promise of now, even when later would be richer, calmer, saner. The brain will auction tomorrow to buy the smallest relief today, and it will do so convincingly. This is not a moral flaw. This is biology doing its ancient job. But biology can be befriended. Breath, clarity, sequence, these are tools. When we calm the body, the prefrontal mind returns to the room and choices grow long roots. There is also an older voice, practical, unhurried, resistant to spectacle. It speaks in images because images pass the guards at the gates of the heart. Ants gathering in summer, a city with walls intact, scales that balance evenly, fields that are planted, then left to the rhythm of seed, season, harvest. This is Solomonic wisdom, not magic, not manipulation, not a shortcut, but a way of seeing that creates a way of living. It honors reality. It respects time. It chooses clarity over speed, because clarity over speed becomes peace over chaos. You are not here for tips you will forget by morning. You are here for a change you can feel in your bones. So let's make a quiet promise together. Small, sane steps. No hype, no frenzy. Little by little becomes a lot. Little by little becomes enough. Little by little becomes free. If the world pushes you to count trophies, we will count moments of integrity instead. The pause before the purchase, the agreement before the favor, the plan before the paycheck. These are not glamorous moves, but they are the moves that hold when the lights are off and the pressure is real. Before we touch any number, feel your body. Unclench your jaw. Let your shoulders fall an inch. Your breath is a metronome. Slow the tempo. You are safe enough to think. You are safe enough to see. Place a gentle attention on the places where money leaks without your consent. The autopilot charges that have outlived their usefulness. The tiny fees that hide in plain sight. The habits that snip a few dollars a day until the month feels thin. Notice, do not judge. Curiosity over condemnation. Awareness over anxiety. The goal is not to scold the self, but to study it. As a gardener studies the ground before planting anything precious. There is an image to carry with you as we move. At the gate of a city hang two purses in the sun. One is large, stitched in gold thread, but the seams are torn and coins sprinkle the road like breadcrumbs for anyone passing by. The other is plain, small, carefully sealed. It does not boast, yet somehow it grows heavier with every season. One dazzles, then drains. One looks modest, then multiplies. Ask yourself, without panic and without pretense, which purse are you carrying today and which one would you rather hold a year from now? This is a gentle confrontation, the kind that respects you enough to tell the truth. Some patterns have been sold to you as normal. The comfort of free financing, the thrill of a quick win, the belief that a bigger paycheck guarantees safety, the idea that budgets are prisons and boundaries are cold. They are not truths. They are costumes. Underneath them are simple realities. What you keep matters more than what you make. Debt on things that rust is a quiet thief. Compounding loves patience more than performance. And relationships thrive when money speaks plainly. These realities are not loud, but they do not move when the wind rises. You will hear about mistakes, but you will not be named as one. We will place the 7 patterns on the table with calm hands, not to embarrass you, but to give you choices. You will be invited to adopt small practices, the kind that take minutes, not hours. Courage, not genius. You will keep no tally of shame, only a record of awareness, a leak sealed, a seed planted, a boundary honored. Repetition is the strategy, not because you are weak, but because the brain loves rhythm and the soul trusts what returns. Little by little, clarity over speed, seed, season, harvest. Let this be your inner money meeting, quiet and private and honest. You will not be rushed, you will not be belittled, you will be guided. If a phrase arrests you, pause the video and write it down. If a memory stings, breathe through it. Pain is often data with a pulse. If hope flickers, protect it. Hope is oxygen for discipline. And when you are ready to see with kinder eyes, ask this question and let it echo for a moment. Where could Solomonic wisdom bring more clarity to your finances today? Not tomorrow, not in some perfect future, but in the next living choice that is yours to make. We begin from that quiet place. Steady breath, open hands, mind awake. The noise of the world will keep performing. You do not need to. The path that holds is older than the hype, wiser than the algorithm, and closer than your next impulse. Tonight, we choose it, little by little. Seed, season, harvest. Clarity over speed. Peace over chaos, wisdom over noise, working harder yet never feeling safer. The pace increases, the calendar fills, the direct deposit grows. Yet the quiet at night feels thinner, not thicker. There is a mirage on the horizon that looks like safety and sounds like applause. It promises that the next raise or the next roll will finally soften the ground under your feet. For a moment it does. Then the new normal arrives, wearing the clothes of the old fear. The house sighs, the lights dim, and the truth returns with a steady voice that you can hear when the world stops clapping. The truth is not cruel, it is patient. It waits for you to be ready. If I earn more, I'm wealthy. That sentence has lived in many of us for years, stitched into our reflexes by culture, comfort, and comparison. The brain wants quick anchors. Income is a bright one. It is easy to measure, easy to brag about, easy to chase. But the body knows what the numbers sometimes hide. Tight shoulders at the end of the month, a pulse that jumps when the card declines for a reason you did not expect. Micro bursts of panic when you scan the account and cannot find where the week went. The nervous system does not salute a paycheck. It salutes predictability, margin, and rest. When those are missing, the inner world will whisper danger no matter what the outer world admires. Wealth is what you keep and compound, not what you make. Let that sentence rest inside you like a stone that finally stops skimming and sinks to the still bottom of a lake. To keep is to honor the order of things. To compound is to let time be a partner rather than a bully. Water that rushes looks powerful, but a reservoir keeps the city alive through long summers. A river can thrill the eye. A reservoir feeds the land. When money moves through you as fast as it moves to you, the body suffers the jerk and snap of constant demand. When money begins to linger, even in small amounts, the whole system exhales. There is a quiet wisdom that refuses the drama of hurry. The ant stores in summer. Wise people build reserves. This is not a fable for children. It is the architecture of adult peace. It is the way a life becomes sturdy without becoming hard. It is the small storehouse that does not look like much until a cold wind comes, and then it looks like everything. Wisdom rarely performs. It prepares. It gathers during ease, so that ease can survive the weeks that are not easy. Your brain is not your enemy. It is a loyal guard that sometimes mistakes noise for danger and novelty for salvation. Scarcity tightens the lens until only the brightest option feels safe. That is why the rush of a purchase or an upgrade can feel like oxygen. Dopamine sketches a promise in the sky. Relief arrives, then fades, and the old worry asks for another dose. This is not a character flaw, it is chemistry. When the body is soothed first, the mind can plan. When the mind plans, the heart trusts. When trust grows, the old reflex to spend relief quiets down. This is how the inner world and the outer world begin to rhyme. There is a different order that changes everything even when nothing outside has changed. Imagine a path where the first step is not consumption, but keeping. Imagine money that moves itself to a safe place without argument, as if it were following a well-worn trail through a garden. Automate first fruits, saving and investing. 15 to 20% off the top. When the keeping becomes easy, the rest of your life becomes quieter, not smaller, quieter. The cart stops pulling the horse. The house starts wearing a calmer kind of silence. Lifestyle creep is a soft thief. It never kicks the door. It just asks for slightly more comfort each season, a nicer chair here, a faster device there, a meal that no one remembers 2 days later. Each choice by itself seems small, and many are reasonable, but together they crowd your future until there is nowhere left to stand. Define your enough number to neutralize lifestyle creep. Enough is not a prison. It is a gate that guards the field so the harvest is not trampled before it grows. Enough turns desire into a servant instead of a driver. Enough gives your nervous system a shape to rest against. The story plays out the same way in so many lives. A person with good intentions and rising pay carries a quiet fear that never quite leaves. The wardrobe improves, the address upgrades, the dinners become reservations instead of recipes, and yet the feeling of living 1 month away from trouble whispers at the edges of every celebration. High earner, low keeper. It is a painful pattern because the outside does not match the inside, and dissonance drains energy. When even small reserves begin to take root, the dissonance fades. The days stop demanding as much courage. Decisions stop feeling like cliff edges. It becomes possible to look a few seasons ahead without flinching. There is a human ache beneath the numbers as well. The wish to be seen as successful, the fear of being left behind, the fatigue of always being the reliable one. External applause is loud and brief. Inner safety is quiet and steady. One keeps you purchasing the costume. The other allows you to hang it up and go home. When the measuring stick changes from income to keeping, from speed to clarity, from display to depth, the body begins to trust you again. Trust is a kind of wealth that cannot be taxed. You may wonder where the margin will come from, and the wondering may feel tender. It is not a call to punish yourself or to live grey and joyless. It is an invitation to choose rhythm over rush. A few levers gently moved can free more than they cost. A plan that names what matters. A pause that lets desire cool until it becomes discernment. A small percentage that moves to safety before any other bill is heard. These are simple levers. Pull one, and the next becomes possible. Pull several over a season, and the ground hardens under your feet. The mind loves images because images speak directly to the place where habits are born. Picture a table with 2 purses. One is large and ornate and always hungry. It throws a dazzling party and then sends you the bill. The other is small and quiet and faithful. It does not ask for attention. It offers it. Over time, the quiet purse grows heavy and the ornate purse grows light, and the roles reverse. Safety moves from costume to core. Abundance moves from performance to presence. Nothing about you is smaller. Everything about you is steadier. Working harder, yet never feeling safer, no longer needs to be the script. The same hands that earn the income can learn the slower art of keeping it. The same mind that chased achievement can learn the gentler cadence of sufficiency. The same heart that craved approval can learn to prefer peace. The ant does not argue with the seasons. It prepares for them. The body does not argue with stability. It relaxes into it. If your income stopped for 90 days, what would survive, your lifestyle or your plan? Let the question sit with you like a candle in a quiet room, not to scare you, to locate you. If it stings, breathe. If it steadies you, breathe. Either way, the breath belongs to you, and from that breath a new order can begin. Little by little you build the storehouse. Little by little you rebuild the trust. Little by little you remember that wealth is not noise. Wealth is the space to choose well. There is a softness to it that makes it hard to notice. Payments that fit, offers that sound kind. A signature here, a swipe there, and life feels a little easier for a little while. The couch is newer, the screen is brighter, the drive is smoother, and the quiet ache that sat in the chest for days finally loosens. Yet when the night returns and the house falls still, a thinner ache replaces it. It is the sense that someone else is quietly holding the key to your next month. Anxiety does not shout, it hums. Freedom does not slam its fist. It fades. The belief that zero interest is the same as free is persuasive, especially when the purchase seems reasonable and everyone around you is doing the same dance. The mind says it costs nothing. The body knows it costs choices. Debt on things that rust and fade is a tax on your future options. The moment the item loses value, the payment remains, and the path ahead becomes one step narrower. Today feels padded. Tomorrow feels claimed. Little by little, the calendar is no longer yours. Little by little, the music of your life keeps time with a bill. There is wisdom older than the pitch and quieter than the urge. It remembers that the borrower becomes servant to the lender. That sentence is not a threat, it is a description. Servanthood sounds dramatic until you experience it in ordinary ways. You sit at a dinner you cannot enjoy because a payment will leave your account in the morning. You consider a new idea and feel a wall rise before you even explore it. You want to rest, but the due date interrupts the rest before it begins. These are simple chains, and they do not care how elegant the purchase was. A golden leash is still a leash. The shine can be real. The comfort can be real. The leash is real as well. The mind tries to negotiate with it by calling it strategic or temporary or deserved. The heart understands the trade. Attention moves from your chosen work to the next statement. Imagination shrinks to the size of the invoice. The nervous system scans for threats and finds them on the calendar. The amygdala does not understand store promotions. It understands that something outside you is calling the tune. Relief is powerful because it is chemical. The quick purchase can feel like air after a long-held breath. Dopamine fires, the shoulders drop, the nervous system takes a short nap, then the nap ends, and the bill wakes you. This is not about shame, it is about rhythm. When the rhythm is payment, relief, payment, worry, the music turns harsh. When the rhythm changes to plan, patience, reduction, margin, the music turns human again. The prefrontal mind can return, and with it returns the part of you that loves sequence and steady progress. Sequence matters because it gives your courage a place to stand. Begin with a small buffer so that one surprise does not send you back to the card. Then pick a path for the balances that remain. Some will choose the smallest first for a quick win and a deep breath. Others will choose the highest cost first for the better math and the same deep breath. Both paths work when you stay with them, and both paths return a kind of dignity that minimum payments steal. As balances fall, remove the temptation to revolve them again. Close the door softly where it makes sense. Protect the quiet you are building. There is one gentle practice that changes purchases from impulse to clarity. Wait about 30 days before any financed buy. Let the first wave of wanting wash over you and be witnessed rather than obeyed. In a week, the object will feel different. In 2 weeks, your values will speak up. In 3 weeks, the numbers will tell a truer story. In 4 weeks, you will know whether this is a tool for your life or a leash dressed as a gift. Nothing loud is required, just time and honest noticing. Desire cools into discernment when given air. The point is not to live small or grey. The point is to keep your next months open so that your life can say yes to what actually matters. A paid-off balance is not an empty space. It is a field where something better can grow. Freedom is not an abstraction. It is the difference between taking an opportunity and explaining why you cannot. It is the difference between resting without a knot in your stomach and sleeping beside a bill that wakes you before dawn. Freedom is not a number on a screen. It is the sound of your own voice being obeyed by your own calendar. If you listen closely, you will hear the quiet bravery inside you that is tired of trading tomorrow for a softer today. It wants ease, but it wants honest ease. The kind that does not come with interest attached. It wants beauty, but it wants beauty that does not make you bow. It wants generosity that is not interrupted by the words, "not this month." That bravery does not need spectacle. It needs a plan you can keep and a pace you can love. There will be moments when the old lure returns, and it will call itself harmless. Notice the tone. Notice the timing. Marketing writes stories that end at the checkout. Wisdom writes stories that keep going after the box is opened. The first story gives you a moment and then asks for more. The second story gives you a future and asks for patience. Patience is not punishment. Patience is adult hope with work boots on. You may be carrying quiet shame about choices you made when you were scared or tired or trying to belong. Lay that down. Fear made sense then. Belonging matters still. You do not need to punish the self you were to protect the self you are becoming. You can thank the past for surviving and thank the present for learning. Every balance paid is not just a transaction. It is a message to your nervous system that you are safe enough to choose. What would you dare build if no payment owned your next paycheck? There is a glitter to speed that feels like salvation. News flashes, prices flare, a friend whispers about a winner that is running hot, and for a moment your chest lifts as if the elevator of fortune just opened its doors for you. The thrill is real. The body believes it is stepping into safety by stepping into motion. Then the elevator drops. The promise fades. What remains is the ache of whiplash and the quiet question that follows harsh relief. Why does the chase keep ending in the same room? The inner belief that speed beats patience is persuasive because it sounds like courage and looks like intelligence. In a world that rewards first movers and celebrates overnight stories, waiting feels like weakness. But your nervous system tells a different truth. Novelty lights the brain like fireworks, then leaves it in the dark. The mind remembers the blast. The stomach remembers the silence after. You buy a moment and you sell a season. The trade is too expensive, not because you are foolish, but because the game is designed to keep you excited and empty. There is an older rhythm that refuses to rush. It speaks in the language of fields and weather and work that does not perform for applause. Seed, season, harvest. It says that wealth gathered little by little becomes a shelter that does not buckle when the wind rises. It says that haste leads to lack even when the sprint looks impressive at the start. It says that steady plans draw profit the way a well dug in the right place draws water. This is not poetry meant to distract you from the modern world. It is the modern world seen without the glare. Your brain is not an enemy to be defeated. It is a loyal sentinel that confuses uncertainty with danger and equates movement with safety. Dopamine delivers a story that feels like truth. Variable rewards teach the mind to crave the next spin of the wheel. Loss aversion makes you hold what hurts because realizing the loss seems worse than living with it. Delay discounting sells tomorrow at a discount and pays a premium for today. When you feel these tides moving inside you, you are not broken. You are human. The path forward is not more adrenaline. It is more rhythm. There is a way to give your courage a frame so it stops being consumed by every headline. Write the rules of your money before the noise begins. A simple statement that names the destination and the road that gets you there. What you own, why you own it, how often you will add, how you will react when the market soars and when it sinks. Put most of your energy where the costs are low and the exposure is broad, and the contributions happen whether your mood is high or low. Let the main engine run on a schedule that respects your life rather than your impulses. Curiosity will still want a corner to explore. Give it a small garden with a fence. No more than 5% for ideas that might be exciting but are not required for the future you are building. This boundary is not punishment, it is protection. It keeps the fireworks where they belong so the farm can keep feeding you when the sky is quiet. When the exciting corner works, the plan stays intact. When it does not, the plan stays intact. Either way, you do not have to rebuild your life after every experiment. Automation is not a trick, it is a kindness to the parts of you that get tired. When the transfer happens on its own, you are not required to be brave on the days when fear is loud or temptation is available. The schedule keeps its promise when you are joyful and when you are weary. That steadiness becomes a form of peace you can feel in your shoulders. Over time, the calm outgrows the thrill, because calm lasts and thrill evaporates. The metaphor is simple and stubborn. Fireworks impress, farms feed, a field looks boring, until you remember what a table looks like without bread. A barn looks ordinary, until you watch a winter strip the color from the trees. The spectacle gives you a story to tell. The soil gives you a life to live. When your choices begin to honor that difference, your days stop swinging between euphoria and regret. You can look away from the screen without the sense that you are missing your one chance at freedom. You are not missing it, you are making it. Haste carries a cost that does not show up on a chart. It erodes trust inside you. Each lunge that ends in a loss teaches the nervous system to flinch before committing to anything measured and sane. The next time a calm plan is presented, a small voice says that plans do not work for you. That voice is not a prophet, it is a bruise. Bruises heal when they stop being hit and start being held. Consistent contributions to a simple plan are the holding. They are gentle, repetitive, almost boring. That is why they work so well. There is a tenderness in acknowledging how much the promise of quick rescue has cost you. Time spent worrying, sleep traded for charts, conversations that never happened because your mind was still at the screen after dinner. You can release the need to be the person who spotted the thing. You can become the person who endures. Endurance is not dull. It is luminous in its own way because it produces results that are quiet and heavy and real. A portfolio that grows slowly becomes a kind of friend. It does not perform for you. It stands with you. Little by little is not a slogan. It is a nervous system strategy. Each small deposit tells your body that the future is cared for. Each month of staying the course calms the survival alarms. Over time, those alarms stop hijacking your decisions. You begin to recognize the difference between urgency and importance. Urgency shouts. Importance waits. Urgency makes you small and fast. Importance makes you calm and brave. There will still be seasons when the market rattles your resolve and the headlines seem to demand a reaction. Breathe and remember the field. Seed was planted when no one clapped. Seasons were endured when no one wrote about it. Harvest arrived without spectacle. This is the cadence you are choosing. It will not always feel heroic. It will often feel human. That is the point. Are you planting a field or lighting a fuse? There is a familiar silence that follows a busy week, the kind that leaves you staring at a bank balance as if it were a riddle written in disappearing ink. A delivery here, a ride there, a free trial that was never truly free. Small comforts that felt harmless in the hand and heavy in the end. The question arrives with a sigh rather than a shout. Where did it all go? Not in one loud mistake, but in a slow rain that left the floor slick. The mind loves a bargain because the body loves relief. A tiny payment slips under the radar, and the nervous system nods because nothing dramatic happened. Dopamine sprinkles a little light across an ordinary day, and the purchase becomes a mood more than a math problem. Frictionless checkout turns spending into a gesture instead of a decision. Autopay turns yesterday's yes into today's habit. None of this is sinister. It is simply smooth. Smooth is dangerous. when the direction is away from the life you mean to build. There is a story many of us have been told about the word budget. The story says that structure is a prison and freedom is the absence of lines. Yet every peaceful garden has a wall, and every clear river has a bank. A plan is permission, not punishment. It is the set of gentle lines that let a life keep its shape when the week is loud and the mood is tired. Without a plan, money becomes weather. With a plan, money becomes a season you can understand. An older voice speaks in images that land softly and stay. Know well the state of your flocks. Not because counting is glamorous, but because care requires attention. Sheep wander when the night is long. Coins roll where the table tilts. Attention is love wearing work clothes. It does not perform. It protects. Picture a shepherd by lamplight at the edge of a field. He does not chase every sound. He stands, he counts, he notices which gate sticks and which trail invites thieves. A shepherd who does not count sheep loses them to the night. This is not fear. It is tenderness applied to real life. Your attention is the lamp. Your accounts are the field. Small purchases are not small when they travel in packs. The mind shrugs at one fee and then misses the pattern. The day offers 1,000 tiny exits and each one asks for only a little. This is how a purse learns to leak. It is never a waterfall. It is a seam you cannot see until the lining is wet. Naming the leaks is not about scolding the self. It is about choosing what deserves to stay and what is simply habit passing for need. There is a quiet transformation that begins when every dollar knows its work. Not a harsh rule that squeezes joy, but a clear map that says this for shelter, and this for food, and this for future, and this for fun. When each portion is spoken for, impulse encounters a kind boundary. The body relaxes because tomorrow is not being robbed to feed today. The plan is no longer a wall you crash into. It becomes a doorway you walk through again and again until the path is familiar. The rhythm that helps most is simple and human. A short, weekly money meeting, just long enough to keep the story current and the feelings honest. Look at what came in, what went out, and what surprised you. Notice where the plan honored the week and where the week asked for a change. Speak kindly to yourself about both. Predictability is currency for the nervous system. This gentle ritual makes predictability grow. Subscriptions deserve the same warm light. They are easy to start and shy to leave. Each season invites a small review. Is this still feeding your life, or is it feeding the leak? Some services are true tools. Others were comfort during a hard month and then stayed out of politeness. Let the useful stay with gratitude. Let the others go without drama. You are not rejecting pleasure. You are choosing a shape that can hold it. There is an emotional layer beneath the math that matters as much as any spreadsheet. Many of us grew up with mixed messages about money. Pleasure was either the proof of success or the proof of weakness. Budgets were either signs of struggle or signs of stinginess. Those messages live in the muscles long after the ideas have been questioned. Curiosity interrupts them. What did this purchase really provide? What feeling was I trying to hire? Was there a better way to meet that need? Gentle questions turn judgment into wisdom. A simple emergency reserve changes the weather inside the chest because it changes the story your body believes. Even a modest cushion tells the nervous system that surprise does not equal danger. Leaks become visible when there is a place for their water to go. The quarter cup saved from a few familiar places fills the jar faster than expected. The mind stops saying it is impossible and starts saying it is underway. This is not about living grey. It is about living grounded. Meals can still be delightful. Celebrations can still be generous. Entertainment can still sparkle. The difference is that joy will sit in a chair you have already set at the table instead of showing up with an invoice and a deadline. Freedom does not ask you to shrink. It asks you to decide. Decision is dignity in motion. The shepherd image returns because it is stubborn and kind. You are not chasing every sound. You are standing in the field you care for. When the night asks where your flock is, you can answer from knowledge, not from fear. When the morning comes, your field still belongs to you, The purse is sealed, the coins remain. The song of relief is quiet and steady. If the thought arises that a plan will make life smaller, notice what happens in your shoulders when you imagine the opposite. A month where you know the shape of your spending before the month begins. A week where you already agreed with yourself about what matters. The breath deepens because certainty is a form of kindness. The plan does not shut doors. It closes the ones that lead nowhere and opens the ones that lead home. What 3 leaks would fund your emergency reserve in 90 days? There are tensions that do not shout. They live in the space between a purchase and a conversation, in the way a voice goes quiet when a card is used, in the slight stiffness that visits a room when an offer to help becomes an expectation to provide. These tensions are not only about dollars, they are about doors. A house without clear doors welcomes everything and then wonders why it feels so crowded. Peace does not arrive by accident. It arrives through boundaries that love the people inside them. Many of us learned that love means saying yes, and trust means avoiding details. The heart wants belonging, and the mind worries that clarity will look cold. So favors become loans without names, and partnerships begin with warm feelings and no terms. And households share bank accounts while arguing with shadows. It feels generous at first. Then it feels heavy, not because people are bad, but because money without boundaries behaves like water without a bank. It spreads and seeps, and then it blames the ground. There is a wisdom that builds before the storm arrives. By wisdom, a house is built and established. The image is sturdy and kind. It suggests foundations that hold and chambers where treasures are kept with intention. It suggests rooms with doors that open and close, not to shut love out, but to keep care in. When money and relationships are guided by this older voice, affection does not have to work overtime. It gets to rest because the structure is doing some of the lifting. Agreements protect affection. Clarity is kindness. These sentences sound simple until you feel what they do inside a home. A written promise between friends or partners steadies the friendship because it holds the weight that conversation alone cannot carry for long. Expectations are named, time frames are named, outcomes are named, and love is relieved from the strain of guessing. Confusion leaves and respect arrives. The relationship steps out from under the quiet cloud of unspoken cost. In a household, the same spirit heals old friction. Clear roles turn resentment into teamwork. When a couple agrees on thresholds for spending, the daily dance becomes graceful. A purchase that once felt like a secret becomes a decision that honors the shared plan. No one is policed. Everyone is protected. The nervous system will notice the difference. There is less bracing before bank statements and fewer rehearsed speeches in the shower. Safety finally begins to feel like a shared project instead of a private burden. Generosity blooms in the presence of boundaries because it can finally be honest. A gift is a gift when it is not a silent contract. Support is love when it has a shape that does not endanger the giver. Loans between loved ones become less painful when terms are respectful, and the possibility of no is allowed without punishment. The ability to decline is not the death of compassion. It is the soil where trustworthy compassion grows. Sometimes the softest boundary is the most powerful. A simple reserve can buy the right to say not now without shame. A few months of living costs set aside changes the feeling in your body when a request arrives. You do not have to rush toward relief purchases or emergency favors. You can pause without panic because your life is not balanced on this one decision. Margin is not only arithmetic, it is dignity that you can hear in your own voice. Neuroscience meets the heart here in a surprisingly tender way. The amygdala hates uncertainty, especially in relationships. Unclear money arrangements feel like danger, so the body keeps a low level of alarm running. That alarm makes simple conversations louder than they need to be and turns ordinary choices into arguments that repeat the same lines. Clarity lowers the volume. The prefrontal mind returns. Solutions feel possible again. The home becomes a place where everyone can exhale. There will be moments when drawing a line feels unnatural. Old stories will say that love should be limitless and that details are unspiritual. Yet the most sacred spaces in life are full of form. Gardens have borders. Sanctuaries have doors, rivers have banks. Form allows beauty to remain beautiful. In the same way, form allows love to keep its softness over time. Without form, even kindness becomes thin from overuse. A city without walls invites every expense to walk in. It does not mean the city is weak or wicked. It means it is unguarded. The answer is not to raise a fortress against everyone. The answer is to restore the gates and choose wise gatekeepers. Agreements and limits are such gatekeepers. They are not suspicious. They are awake. They let generosity enter, and they gently ask waste to pass by. They welcome opportunity, and they escort pressure to the edge of town. If this chapter touches tenderness, let it be a sign of how much you care. You want harmony more than applause. You want honesty more than performance. You want money to be a servant of love rather than the silent judge of it. There is courage in naming what has been unspoken and tenderness in building walls that protect without isolating. What begins as a boundary ends as a blessing because it gives everyone inside the home a chance to rest and to trust. Which boundary set this week would buy the most peace? At the city gates, the sun hangs low and the stones remember every foot that has passed. Sellers fold their cloths, children chase the last strip of light, and a quiet market breathes in relief. On the outer wall, 2 purses hang on iron nails, swaying as if the air were counting them. One is stitched with bright thread and tiny mirrors that scatter light across the dust. The other is plain, leather softened by use, edges rubbed smooth by time and care. Travelers pause before them without quite knowing why. A man with tired eyes and quick hands stops first at the shining purse. He lifts it and laughs at its weight. Coins clink like a small river. He smiles as if his name has been called. Then he notices the seams, pretty but thin, and the small, neat tears along the stitching where a thread has frayed. He does not mind. He imagines the meal he will buy and the story he will tell. He carries the bright purse away and does not see the trail behind him. Small metal lights winking in the dust. A woman with weathered palms stands before the plain purse. It is not heavy. It rests in her hands with a steady honesty. She opens it and finds bills folded with care, a few coins that do not sing, a note to herself written in a hand that does not rush. She does not feel rich. She feels ready. The purse is not exciting and it is not meant to be. It is meant to stay. She ties the strap tight and walks toward home with her shoulders an inch lower, as if her spine remembered a promise. Evening gathers. The man returns, empty and restless. He says the day took more than it gave, and he is right, though not in the way he thinks. He reaches for the bright purse again and finds less in it than before. He frowns at the sky. He blames the price of figs. He blames the news. He blames the seller who smiled too widely. The purse hangs there, dazzling and thin, and does not argue. It only keeps losing. The woman returns as well. She unknots the plain strap, adds a small folded bill, and smooths the leather with her thumb. She closes it without ceremony. A vendor nearby watches and wonders at the habit. It looks like nothing. It looks like a breath. It looks like the kind of care that does not ask for applause because it knows what it is worth. Days pass. The bright purse grows lighter in a way that confuses the hands that hold it. It is full of stories and empty of staying power. It shines in the sun and fades in the shade. The plain purse grows heavier without effort. A little here, a little there. The way dew gathers on grass, no one notices until shoes get wet. No rush, no spectacle, only the slow dignity of choices that face the same direction again and again. A merchant with careful eyes begins to sweep the ground at dusk. He fills a small bowl with the trail of coins that slipped from the bright seams. He does not steal, he gathers. He understands that what is not kept invites strangers to finish the sentence. He knows that gates without guardians do not stay gates for long. When he counts the bowl at night, he shakes his head. So much lost for want of a stronger thread. The city learns, not by decree, by watching. Parents point to the bright purse and say that beauty without structure makes a promise it cannot keep. They point to the plain purse and say that steadiness is not boring, it is generous, because it keeps giving when the season grows lean. Lovers begin to write simple terms and keep them in kitchen drawers. Friends begin to speak plainly about money before they shake hands. Households carve small shelves for reserves the way older houses carve alcoves for oil lamps. No one is shouting, people are sleeping. Across the river, a storm season arrives. Prices move like birds startled from a field. Work shifts. Plans bend. The bright purse tears in a quiet burst, and the road hears its rain. The plain purse holds, not because it is large, but because it is sound. The woman who has tended it does not feel brave. She feels ordinary. She plants, she waits, she harvests, she shares. This is how cities stay cities and do not become camps. A child grows up beneath these gates and learns to love the unfashionable words that make a life hold. Enough, later, kept. She learns that a plan can be tender and a boundary can be warm. She learns that peace often looks plain on the outside and luminous on the inside. She learns that gifts are sweeter when they do not ask for payment, dressed as gratitude. She learns that the truest wealth is free time with a quiet heart and a mind that is not for rent. Night deepens, the iron nails cool. The city sleeps. Two purses rest in the dark and tell the same story in different tongues. One dazzles and drains. One looks modest and multiplies. Both are honest in their own way. One announces, "I will thrill you." The other whispers, "I will feed you." Somewhere a choice is made that no one will see until winter. Somewhere a life turns by a degree so small that only the future will notice. When the morning comes and the gatekeeper lifts the bar, the world resumes its ordinary hum. Sellers laugh, children run. The man with quick hands scans the ground for coins. The woman with weathered palms ties her strap and walks with a calm that does not ask for witnesses. The city watches without comment and learns again in silence. At the gates, the lesson repeats until it becomes part of the stone. Which purse is hanging at your door?